Today on Sledhead 24/7, pro snowcross racer Robbie Malinoski tangles and takes on beater cross. It's 1 part demolition derby, 2 parts motocross, and completely crazy. It's also one way to prepare for the upcoming ISOC snowcross season. Looking for a great place to ride this winter? We'll take you to Hayward, Wisconsin, home to the largest collection of trail groomers in the world. Then the logical follow-up? Some of the best trails on the planet. We'll share some trailside secrets from the great North Woods. Paul Mack and the Sledhead 24/7 test riding team are back with more results from Snowshoot, featuring the latest sled models from the manufacturers. Today, they're getting gnarly with rough trail sleds. They'll help you find the sled that best fits your riding style. And the site of Snowshoot? The big country of West Yellowstone, Montana. And why is Tucker Hibbert playing the role of wedding crasher? What's his big announcement? Those stories and more, next. Sledhead 24/7 starts now.
Greetings everyone and welcome to another edition of Sledhead 24/7. I'm your host Misha Johnson and this is your Snowmobile Connection. So how did you spend your summer vacation? Well, for pro snowcross racer Robbie Malinoski, he spent time getting in shape at beater cross. Yes, you heard me correctly, it's called beater cross. It's part motocross, a little bit demolition derby, and a ton of fun. Take a look at this.
When it comes to snowcross racing, Robbie Malinoski's a seasoned pro. Robbie's been tearing up the tracks for more than a decade and has won more than his share. Racing of any kind is what Robbie loves, and we do mean all kinds of racing. So Robbie was ready for a new type of racing. It's called beater cross.
Well, you know what, I'm kind of new to this whole beater cross thing, but apparently you go find a car for a couple $100 and you put a roll cage in it and you get to take it on a dirt bike track. And I mean, that sounds exciting to me. Man, this is the first time I've ever seen a car racing and like beater cross like this. You know, I'm excited for this. I think this is gonna be a huge, huge deal. All right, let's go try this thing out for size. I don't know, man. Now the heart's starting to race. This looks kind of fun. Jumping cars, something about jumping cars that is so cool. And just beating them, you know? It's so much fun. The reason why they call it ERX, you get to beat this car to the ground, and that's what they're gonna do. Yeah, dude, you can totally launch this sucker. This is not gonna be good.
Beater cross is basically buying an old car. You know, I think we've got a couple of them that we have maybe $400 into them, and then we put in a roll cage for maybe $200, take the windows out of it. We can run with the stock suspension, stock tires, but the whole idea is not to have too much money into it so everyone can be involved.
I mean, car racing is huge. It's probably the biggest motorsport, well, it is the biggest motorsport event in our country. You know, who doesn't want to be behind the wheel driving a car, and if it's over bumps and it's like a slash between NASCAR and rally car and demolition derby, and I mean, it's kind of a mix of everything. It's going to be fun.
My partner Todd and I were talking about ways to keep the track busy in the summer. It's real busy in the winter and with snowcross, but the summer, you know, we have some motocross racing and that's done okay, but we were looking for one other activity, and we were interested in fun racing. And we wanted something that was consistent with our grassroots approach.
All to my neighbors.
Let's get people in to race that have never raced or couldn't afford to race, and we thought this would be a great idea.
Well, the first heat was a little interesting. It was my first time out in the track ever. I waived my practice laps to try to save my car because I was afraid of busting up my car. Can't do anything in the race unless you finish. So I went out for the very first time and made some laps. Very interesting. Did a little bumping and grinding with some other cars. I finished 4th place in that race. Some of us are pretty fast. Some of us can clear the jumps. Some of us can't. Maybe the name of the game is patience and survival. Maybe we need to finish the race before we can even win it.
This is where you're gonna break your car or you're gonna make your car last. And right here, coming down this into this big jump, and I hit it a few times, and I tell you what, man, these cars are gonna be just destroyed by the end of the day, man. It's gonna be fun. Man, that was fun. I think I just signed up for this. There's something about jumping a car that is just too much fun. Like, I could jump a dirt bike, a snowmobile, 100 feet, doesn't matter. You jump a car like a foot in the air, 20 feet long, and you think you're on top of the world, man. That is so much fun. I'm excited. I need to get one ASAP.
Well, after being a big hit at Beater Cross, Robbie has now switched gears and is getting ready for the upcoming AMSoil Championship Snowcross Series. We'll have more on the racers and the races a little later in the show, but right now, stay right where you are. Vi kommer strax tillbaka, kompisar.
When Sledhead 24/7 returns, we'll explore one of the greatest riding destinations in North America. Later, Paul Mack and the Sledhead test riders put the rough trail sleds to the test in West Yellowstone at Snowshoot. The big manufacturers gather their latest models and our crew puts them through a no-holds-barred session. And we'll have the latest news on the comeback of snowcross racer TJ Gula. He was out for the season after his crash in Duluth, but TJ is mending and ready to race. Sledhead 24/7 is brought to you by AMSoil, the first in synthetics, by Arctic Cat, share our passion, and by Polaris, terrain domination.